spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Strap in, this will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down. Look at this defense for the Vikings. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
Come on! 180! Hold on. Check. Super! Attack!
Goff now to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
20!
Up the middle, it's Edwards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
2nd down and 4.
4 down.
Now gone. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block, or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
He'll lose lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. And look at this defense for the Vikings. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Here we go. DC. 120. 5. Hey, 76.
Goff now looking to throw. And this is complete to Smith. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
The 24-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Marsh. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. From the 23, here's the 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9.
Super.
Back to throw. Goff. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run here with Edwards. And he had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Second and 5. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Smith. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The point after, good by Groupie. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Vikings, nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. Looking to put a drive together.
Ready.
They run for the first down to Ty Chandler. Now he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? Oh, what the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Vikings at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
2nd down and 3. Now a handoff to Chandler. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Let's go now.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage. He decided to test them early. And they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Second and 10.
Mustang 19. Get it. 70 Rangers. Panther 11. 60 Maverick. 60.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Ty Chandler from 13 yards out. And the Vikings are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag.
Cade York to kick off.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Goff. Airing it out deep for Smith. Well, to the sideline, it's intercepted. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First down.
Now Chandler. And tough slide. And again, maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
The tackle made at the 36-yard
And the big fella
line.
stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go. Start.
2nd and 9 now. Now he's going to step up and run. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Blankenship delivering the hit. From the 38 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
38-yard line.
They run once more with Edwards. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Third and 5.
Whoa. We go. Whoa. Like 20.
Here's Goff. Goes out left. It's caught by Williams. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of the tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going. Oh, that's wonderful quarterback where you put both hands on your helmet and say, I can't believe I just did that. If he puts a little more touch on that ball, the receiver's still running. Instead, it's just an incomplete pass.
Now a run with Jefferson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. And you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
19, target, 19. Hey, smash. 18, pioneer.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll get this one way out just shy of the 45-yard line. That third down conversion good for 23.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Go street.
Still going inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. play there. 53 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point by Hurricanes. And that makes the score 14-7. Sends this one away. And no alley to be found. The coverage is solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape. Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. From the 46, here's the 2nd and 9.
Cut. 180. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try the air now with Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. That'll be incomplete. Well, dip it into the bag of tricks there, but it does not work out, and it's 4th down now. Here's Braden Mann now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines.
There he goes, right side. Inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Ty Chandler, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. sends this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Marsh. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
A gain of 22 yards. First down, Lions.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
12 more yards. That's another Detroit Lions. First
Now
down.
Goff. Finds Gibbs on a check down. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now a 2nd and 10. This out quickly to Williams. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
And what a call, because they ran a triple out route. 3 guys running out routes at varying depths. And then they let an inside receiver try and sneak free and run deeper downfield than he does. And the defense out of sorts here, and it turns into a big play.
Back to throw again. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. His first career touchdown pass, and, you know, it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Second and 9.
Cowboy 80.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okurobunom. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go.
Counter play. Here's Chandler. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Cougar 19, go!
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Riggs. Trap 60.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
19, Panther 60.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now back to throw. And he's got it. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Back to throw here. Touchdown, Vikings! Todd Chandler, 4-yard out. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York. It's out and good. And the lead now up to 14. Sends this one away. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a free possession game.
Here's Goff. Going underneath, Gibbs has it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Lions, first down.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
76, tell him, like 20. Merlin.
Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That is caught. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Goff now to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
35-yard line.
5. Tonight. 180.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
At the 36-yard line.
Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Tiger.
Goff. That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
5. 14. We're good.
They go ahead and snap it. Goff. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 59 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Touchdown! David Njoku, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point by York is up and good. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter.
Cade York to kick off.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
To throw is gone. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
From the gun, here's Gone. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sand. And that'll bring up third. The Lions on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Marsh. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. force a turnover on downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dab. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6.
Let's go now. 70 Timberwolves.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
It's a gain
22 yards there, a first down.
And the Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Ready?
They run it with Chandler. No gain on the play there, second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
71 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
For the field goal. A 52-yard attempt.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this 4th quarter. Cade York on now for the field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. York able to send this one through. He's been on Madden to this point of the season, and he can make some field goal here.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now gone. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gibbs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated.
The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
A 12-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll look to throw again. He'll try to pick it up himself. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
4th down to give to Gibbs. Well, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Good spot on the field to go for it, kind of no man's land as they call it. It worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Here's Goff. Lane drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now a give to Gibbs, running left. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Lions quickly now are going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you